good lighting right there. What's up, y'all? It's K&T Do Halloween here, and yeah, I disappeared for a while. I've been trying to film videos, but I'll be completely honest, the weather in Texas has been absolute crap. It's rained every weekend in freaking October, and on Sunday it was like 90 degrees. We had a heat index, I think, of like 95. And then this low pressure system came in overnight, and we woke up to 43 degrees with a wind chill that made it feel like 36. So I just, as you can see, I'm in the garage, doing awesome garage stuff, because we just haven't been able to go outside and do anything. The lights have been off for a couple days now because every night it downpours, and nobody's out looking at the lights anyways, but that's where we've been. We still haven't finished painting the chain link fence. We painted most of it, but we're just like really hoping for a break in the weather at this point, just a little bit, so we could finish setting up. It's not a problem once it's out there, but like don't nobody want to set up in like 40 degrees in the rain. No thanks. So what we've been doing is just kind of repainting stuff in the garage. You can probably see behind me somewhere over here. We have some tombstones for some neighbors that we were just messing around with and had more time than we needed to do. An over the door piece, painting some chain right now, rusty, and lots of other stuff in the garage. I'll step back. This is a new prop we made this year. I'm sure I'll throw a video up at some point, but sounds like it's breathing, and then there's a pneumatic cylinder that basically opens and slams this side of the lid, and we have a pair of legs that stick out of the other side. But yeah, working on just kind of perma-blood on a lot of the props. This is Steve's Haunted Yard's fault. This is I think it's the man's possessed friend prop from Spirit. We were there shopping, looking around, and ended up finding a zombie dog sign, as well as this, which it works similarly, I guess, to the, what is it? The jumping spider prop. But the plan was to repaint it like one of the Resident Evil zombie Dobermans. That was kind of the plan. Hopefully we'll do that. I have that on the radar today to finish painting. And yeah, just more of kind of a little bit of a wine session at the beginning. I'm sure for the people that I know that live in the Northeast, this is not that bad. For us in Texas to go from 90 and swimming and turning the heat on and not being able to go outside for a week, it's like mind-numbing. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing, hanging in there. Fun stuff. So what I'm working on today is some plastic chain that I have going between these two, I don't even know what you'd call them, grave marker. Basically these two are going to go here, and there'll be a stone in between. Seen them kind of places, and I just, I had these little angel things and wanted an excuse to put them out, and honestly I wanted an excuse to faux paint some rusty chain that I've been working on. Sorry about that sound, that's just the compressor kicking on for my airbrush. But what this stuff is we had gotten a couple of these. Sorry for the angle, I'm sure it's not the best. What we had gotten were some of these, I think they're called neck chains from Spirit last year when they were on sale. I think they're like $14 or something like that. We have some zombies that we strapped to these. They kind of look like the Michonne ones, I guess, from The Walking Dead. But what we really wanted was this fake chain. It's kind of a pain to find, and I really like the style of this one. I rarely need a bunch of pieces of it, but I just ended up taking one of these pieces and spanning it between the two instead of using real chain, and then working off an inspiration photo basically of a chain that I wanted it to look like. This is the results that we have. So this is how it started out. What I ended up going through and actually filling in a lot of the black. The inspiration picture that I was working off of had a lot of browns and a lot of these rust coppery tones, and I have tried to just kind of initially go right in and start painting over, you know, the spirit paint job that they have. The problem that I have is this black pokes through way too much, and when you're actually trying to get it to look more like a real chain, it starts to poke through in some of these spots and it ends up just not working and you have to go back through. So I went through first and basically painted everything silver, and then I airbrushed. I happen to have, where is it? I happen to have some, it's probably hard to see. It's basically a metallic airbrush color and kind of a, we'll just say straight orange. And what I did was I mixed it with a couple of drops of the dark brown that I have, and ended up just spraying the entire chain all the way across just to get a flat base before I went back in with this rust tone, which I have right here. This is, everybody has their own. I'm sure a lot of people can find, you know, scrap, you know, garbage colors and stuff like that. I'm super particular about my rust. I use very little of this paint. I've had it for a couple of years now. But this is the color. I'm sure somebody's gonna ask. It's marmalade glaze. I always use flat paint when I'm doing any kind of rust. The reason is because any kind of shine coming from the rust will immediately take you out of it. Rust is always flat. It comes from just the texture of the oxidizing metal. It's rough and it doesn't reflect. Ooh, I can't talk today. It doesn't reflect light. And, you know, little tricks and tips like that when painting help make things look a bit more realistic. So, you know, that's 2 cents for you right there. My 2 cents. Now, what I really wanted to film was just kind of a detail shot of what I'm doing next. So I'm gonna pull back. So this section of chain, I have gone through and I have put the rust on it. You wanna make sure that you get the insides. It looks, oh, there's some of the black poking through. And you can see it just, doesn't look right. That looks much better. What you want to do is basically use a sponge. I have one here. And I kind of ripped it up to get a rough texture. And I went in and I had my 2 colors over here and started with the rust color and basically went over and just blotched. You're going to have to hold the chain as you do it because it's going to move around. And if you're worried about getting paint on your hands, gloves are definitely a must. But I went through and just blotched it all with orange. Then I went back through and another color that I don't really mess around with, I just buy it because I like to have it on hand, is this Imperial Gray. It's a really dark flat gray that I use to just kind of add dimension to things, and you can see it probably right here. Once I do the rust color before it dries, I'll go through and I'll dab a little bit of this gray in, kind of blend the 2 colors together, and I'll try and get a shot of it. And you can see here, it just breaks up the orange a bit. And if you do it while it's still wet, it helps kind of meld the colors together. So you end up with this really nice kind of, you know, from a distance, textured rust effect. A lot of the painting I do is theater techniques, and it's stuff that's meant to be viewed at a distance. It looks pretty good up close, but this is not what a lot of people would refer to as, you know, film quality, screen quality, or things like that. And you know, so those are like the hero pieces where they want real rusty chain, you know, right in the face. You can faux paint to that detail, but for us, it's not going to be viewed up close. It's going to be viewed at a distance. So it's a preference. I see a lot of people over painting certain props and things. And hey, if that's your jam, go for it. It's not my jam. I don't like to paint stuff that I don't have to. I am the worst with Tombstones. I will detail the life out of the front of the Tombstones. If I'm not in a bad mood, I will detail the sides. I will never detail the back of a tombstone. Ever, 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 ever. I get criticized for that a lot. Even my husband gives me crap for it sometimes. I just don't got the time. I don't have the time to paint the back of tombstones. That's me in a nutshell when it comes to tombstones. I just don't have time. I'd rather spend more time on the front that you see. When it comes to the back of the tombstone, if you're looking at the back of my tombstone, then I'm doing something wrong, because you shouldn't be looking at the back of the tombstone. So that's that. Going back to the chain, on this side, I haven't done what I'm doing next, which is I'm going back in, and any hot spots that I'm seeing, and the camera is actually picking them up really, really good, I'm going in and I'm airbrushing with some flat brown paint, and especially in all of these joints. And what that does is, in the picture I'm using, there's a lot of corrosion in between. It's probably a chain that hasn't moved in a while. So you can really see from this side, the chain looks really good, and I really like the tone of it. But just adding that little bit of brown as a shadow where the links meet up and on the underside of the chain gives it that extra that we just love. So that I wanted to show you guys. I'm sure I can do a video in more detail of the painting techniques. If you guys want to, it's always a mixed bag with that stuff. I feel like some people like the explanations. They can, pick it up immediately and do it. Other people like the step-by-steps. If you like the step-by-step, let me know. I have plenty of chain. We can do another one. But this was more of just a catch-up video. I really just wanted to tell you guys that I'm still here. It's just been really a crazy week when it comes to weather and things like that, and I just couldn't wait anymore. I was trying to post a video, what was it, 2 nights ago when YouTube went down, so didn't get that video up. Probably will post that later today. It's just some tombstone painting, and get back to it. So I'm feeling a little bit more motivated. I hope you guys like this. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Hope everybody's having a great fall. Hope your yards look great. Hope the ones that got nailed by the hurricane. I hope y'all's displays didn't get destroyed. My hearts went out to some people that I saw that the winds and rains just demolished it, and it made me pipe down and be quiet with just our rain and cold weather. But I hope everybody's doing awesome. I hope your yards look amazing. I can't wait to start seeing all the videos fly up. And let me know what you guys want to see. If you like the video, hit the button. If you want to subscribe to our channel, we're definitely trying to put out more content. And I hope y'all have a great Thursday. Happy Halloween!